What is up, guys? Donut back with another video, and today, earlier this morning, we got a huge Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, and there is a ton of announcements, tons of games, tons of features shown off here, the release date, and we'll talk about the price and some other stuff and like controversies that I'm sure you've heard of, but I do want to discuss them in this video. But we're just going to get right now into the Direct. So right now, we're looking at the new Mario Kart. And this Mario Kart is like, I'm not a racing games person. Racing games have just never been my cup of tea. I just never really gotten into them, except like some Mario Kart. Not really anything else. Just Mario Kart that I played with like family and whatever. But honestly, this is looking like the first not only Mario Kart game but racing game that I've ever just genuinely been like excited to play this. It is an open world Mario Kart game. We're looking at a bunch of new gameplay features and mechanics, a bunch of new cool modes to play. It just looks like so much fun. And I've just never really felt that about a racing game before, even Mario Kart. Like, I have played some pretty cool Mario Kart games, like some of the new modes that we got in like Mario Kart 8, and I thought those were cool, and I'm sure we're going to see some of those, like the Piranha Plant one, the bank robber one, the coin collector one, whatever, all of those, like, I think they're still going to be in here, and I hope they are still in here, just because those are a lot of cool games, but we do see a bunch of new other cool game modes that I just can't wait to try. But that's just, it's Mario Kart, it's awesome, I can't wait to play it, and let's just move on to some other stuff. There is also this chat Discord kind of thing. I'm not going to talk too much about this looks awesome, but I mean, I don't think it's going to be that much better than just using Discord, but the fact that it's built in makes it a lot better. This microphone thing looks cool. If it is, if you can use it as well as they're making it seem like you can in this trailer, in this Direct, it's going to be perfect. Like, it can block out other noises, and it can be from farther away. It looks really cool. And then there's like the screen sharing, and the camera thing, which I don't think I'll end up getting. If it came with the Switch, that'd be cool, but I mean, it just doesn't, unless it's, I mean, I don't think there's any amount, like, I don't think the price, we don't know what the price is, but I just think I'm not going to get it. But it's still cool, and the screen sharing thing here is cool. It does look very, very, very choppy, but that's fine. I mean, it's not fine, but it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. It's still cool nonetheless, and I can't wait to use this. Then they do get into some of the more hardware aspects of the Switch. We see a high definition display, bigger screen, 1080p, 120 FPS, like these kinds of things that, I'm going to be honest, I knew the Switch 2 was getting some kind of hardware upgrade, some kind of graphical upgrade. I did not think it would be this fast. I thought it was going to be PS4, Xbox One, maybe kind of the mid-generation, like how, like the PS4 Pro, Xbox One X, whatever. I thought it was going to be maybe somewhere around there. But this looks like current gen, man, and that is just so surprising to me. Like, again, I knew this were going to get upgraded, but the fact that they get upgraded this much is just bizarre to me, you know what I mean? This is going to be like just insane to play on handheld. This is going to be insane to play on, their TV. It's just going to be insane to play, especially when the Switch 1, like that first Switch, is not a good console at looking at hardware. And everybody knows this. It's not the worst thing in the world, but the fact that we're getting this big of a graphical update while still staying as handheld console looks like it's going to be more powerful than the Steam Deck. I might be wrong about that. Don't quote me on that. It does look like that though. This is just going to be insane. This mouse looks really cool. We did think it was going to be a mouse. It is a mouse. There's a ton of like gameplay stuff that you can use with the mouse and this kind of cool gimmick. I don't know if it's going to be that much used. We then take a look at like enhancements on previous games, and what I was very surprised is not only do we see like graphical upgrades and stuff like that here, but we see actual content being added to kind of fit with some of the gimmicks and make some of these gimmicks usable, and I just think that's so cool. I think that's just something that really hasn't just been done before, and I think that's just super awesome that they're bringing that in to like Mario Party Jamboree and Zelda and other games here, and I'm so excited to replay. Like I am so excited to replay Zelda on this new and improved, on this new hardware, on this new Switch. I'm so excited. I'm gonna be doing that. Like that's probably gonna be the first game I play, maybe after playing Mario Kart, right? And it's gonna be so awesome, and I can't wait for some of these new upgrades. We then see some Metroid Prime 4 gameplay. You can see this quality mode, which is 4K 60 FPS, and then performance mode 1080p, 120 FPS, and then the handheld is a bit worse, but honestly, this is awesome. I'm kind of excited. I haven't really played too much Metroid, but this does look cool. And then we do get some Pokemon Legends ZA stuff, which I'm excited for this game. It does look like it's just going to be Arceus, but different, obviously, different gen and other starters, new gameplay mechanics. I might get into this game in a different video. Not going to talk about it too much here. The Switch 2 does make it better, though. And now this is the point in the Direct where things start getting really, really exciting. We start seeing launch day, games that are coming to the Switch 2. We see third-party games, and now we're about to see, Age of Calamity 2, which is going to be called Age of Imprisonment. And I'm really excited for this game. I loved Age of Calamity. I thought that was such a good idea to kind of, add some context, add some lore to what we already knew about, that kind of year the war that happened 100 years before. And now we're getting some more context, a war that happened like 10,000 years ago with Zelda. And I thought the story and kind of what they were setting up in Tears of the Kingdom was super cool. Like, I thought this whole thing was super cool. I saw it in the first Breath of the Wild. I thought that was cool too. But just this was such a cool game, with how it presented its lore and its story and just kind of the whole mystery of the whole thing. And now we're seeing some more context. I know it's probably going to be the same thing with Age of Calamity, that it's not canon, which I'm going to be honest, I don't really like that. I think they should just make these games canon, because it's like, well, did this really happen? Did this not really happen? It's like, no. We should just say, this is what happened. And that's kind of, in my head, Age of Calamity is canon. I know there's like, it's not, but I still think these games should be considered canon, even though they're not. Because I just think it's such a cool idea, but then it's taken the idea that it's not canon, and now it's like, well, but yeah, I'm going on too much about this. Let's move on a little bit. Now, this was very cool too. We start seeing GameCube games that are coming to Nintendo Online, and now I've never been too much of a Nintendo Online subscriber. I just don't really use the service that much, so I don't see a reason for me to get it. But the amount of classic games and just other like consoles that are on this service are genuinely, I might pay yearly for it, just because it is so vast. It's not that expensive. I think it's $40 a year, and that's a pretty good price for the amount of just classic games you're getting. Yeah, is it like, is every game super high quality? No, but some of this is very cool. I'm gonna go back to probably old Zeldas. I'm gonna do all this when the original, or when the Switch 2 comes out. What the heck am I saying? But yeah, this looks really cool. Super excited for this. One thing I just realized I accidentally skipped over is Elden Ring coming to the Switch. I'm not talking about everything. That's why I'm kind of skipping through stuff. I just want to talk about what I'm most excited about. But I did forget to talk about Elden Ring. Now, this is kind of like, yeah, we know now that this is current gen, because if this console can run Elden Ring at 4K 60 FPS or 1080p 120 FPS, this console is pretty powerful. And yeah, we know now that this is setting kind of it's not setting, it's hitting the golden standard now, the industry standard, if you will, of gaming and gaming consoles and gaming hardware, whatever you want to say. And this looks super awesome, and I am super excited to play this. I don't know if I'm going to play it on Switch 2, I'm going to be honest, but still cool. Now, probably the most the thing I'm most excited for is Cyberpunk coming to Switch. This is a top 3 game of all time, up there with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. This game is so good, and it's now coming to Switch 2. I was having a conversation with my friends. I was like, yo, do you guys think, Cyberpunk will come to Switch? They didn't believe me. They thought I was an idiot, and now looking at this, I was right. Assuming, again, that this game is going to be able to handle, the big numbers, 120 FPS, whatever it is. This game's going to be insane. Cannot wait to replay that on the Switch 2. That's something I'm definitely getting Switch 2. Probably launch day. Maybe not. I don't know. But that's something I'm really excited for. And then we see this new interesting Souls game from Software. Looks like a vampire Souls game. I even thought, like when I was watching the direct, I was like, is this like, did they take Castlevania? Did they take the IP and make it a Souls game? Because that's the vibe I'm getting from this. This looks like it'll be a very interesting game. From my, I think they say it in the direct, but from my, how am I forgetting the word? From my interpretation, this is going to be exclusively on Switch, and I think that's just very, very, very cool. And this is a game I think I'm going to try out. I don't know if I'm going to try it out like day one, but it does look like a very interesting game indeed. And yeah, so yeah, it just looks like a cool game. Then we do have the final announcement, and that's going to be what looks like a Donkey Kong open world. So we have a Mario Kart open world, we have Mario open world, we got Zelda open world, now we got Donkey Kong open world. Watching this, I thought this looks like Mario. Whoa! Watching this, it does look like Mario Odyssey 2. That's what I thought before. It's like, oh wait, this is Donkey Kong. So this is going to be a very interesting game to just play. I don't know. I think it's a little too expensive. Just from what we're seeing, I think it's a little too expensive to buy. This is going to be a game I'm probably going to wait to go on sale. Like, it does look like a very cool game, but it is like $70. And for just, I'm not saying like I like Donkey Kong, but it's not like one of my favorite IPs. Like, I'd pay $70 for a Zelda game, maybe for a Mario Odyssey 2, but for Donkey Kong, I don't know. And that does look to be like the price. So I'm just going to wait for this game to go on sale before I play it. But yeah, this game does look very, very cool, and yeah, I'm excited to try this. So there's now some other stuff that I do want to talk about, some controversies, just letting this direct that happened after this direct. So we do know it is available June 5th, which is cool. That's actually the day after my birthday, so I'm very excited about that. But the console is going to be $450, and then this Mario Kart that we're seeing right now is going to be $500. Some people are very mad about that price, and I'm going to be honest, I think that is completely fine. I think just having $450 console is not the worst thing in the world to me, especially when it does look like it's as powerful as the PlayStation 5, as the Xbox Series X, and it's a handheld. So the fact that it's a handheld and about or even as powerful as, current gen, I think that is a fair price that are at $500, and it's $50 cheaper. $500 for Mario Kart. Now, what I am a little angry about, and can definitely see where a lot of people are mad about, is the fact that this Mario game looks to be $80. And that's insane to me. And I've seen rumors that it's going to be $80 for the digital version, but $90 for the physical? Listen, man, I think this game looks cool, but I feel like if this comes out, does super well, it's going to be, going forward, is going to be the industry standard for games, is going to be $80. And that is something that just cannot happen. Would be very, very, very bad. That would be just not good. Not good at all. I don't think this game should be $80 in the first place. I think it's $60, $70. That's completely fine. I would pay that for a Mario Kart game, especially this high of quality. But $80, $90, man. And it's also very weird. I'm not really seeing anybody talk about this. Why are there differences in price for, if digital and physical? I think that is a very, very odd thing. And there's also like how the cartridges are going to be just downloads for the games. I don't think that's as big of the deal. I think that's for your games. Like, I don't think it's going to be for Mario Kart. I think maybe it is, but I think it's going to be for your games like Cyberpunk, like Elden Ring, them big gigabyte games, because they need to be on the Switch and they probably can't fit, on just the cartridge. And so I think that's completely fine. I've seen some people complain about that. I think it's completely 100% A-okay. And then we are seeing, like, some new SD cards and whatever, and that's fine, that's cool, whatever. But the one problem now that I'm just seeing is the price of the games. I know a lot of people are complaining about the price of the consoles. I'm fine with it. $450, $500 is completely fine to me. Maybe they're making it super expensive, so then you'll buy the $500 one, but I don't really see the point of that. I don't get why the Mario Kart game is so expensive. Yeah, there is a bunch of features that I didn't miss. Maybe I'll go in depth on some of this stuff in another video, like the screen sharing thing where you can play, you can have the game and then be, other people can play it. I think that's amazing. I know it's not going to be compatible for everything, but that's still a very, very cool, awesome gimmick. And yeah, so I can't wait for this thing to come out. Yes, is it perfect? No, but still very excited. And yeah, I think I'm going to be switching on my content now to like Switch 2 stuff. I'll probably just kind of go a little sporadically more with my content, experiment a little bit. We're kind of in that phase again of the channel where I'm just going to be experimenting some, seeing what works, what doesn't. And so yeah, if you like this video, please like it. If you want to see more by me, please subscribe. And I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.